So today's lesson is on Adobe Audition. Adobe Audition is a non-linear editor in the same way that we have non-linear editors for video. So some of you might have used things like Sony Vegas, I think you've used. Some of you have used Premiere, I think, and things like that as Final Cut as well. So it's basically what it does, it allows you to manipulate audio in various ways, combine it and mix it down to files and do various conversions and things, equalization, all sorts of other effects you can add to it at the same time. So what we're looking at today really is a recording of a show that we've already made, and we're just going to go through and use a few simple techniques to faff with it and change it to make it sound better. Quick guide around Audition. It's got two windows, the edit view window and the mixdown window or project window or multi-track window. So here each one of these tracks corresponds to a stereo pair of inputs that can be recorded. You don't have to record them all at the same time, so we've got time going along this axis and we've got amplitude on each track as we go through. So if we import that file that we were just looking at then, audio from file. So there we are, that's a stereo pair. It's the same stereo pair that we've got in the edit view window. So basically for individual file manipulation we work with the edit view, and then to mix the various tracks together and do various things we can we use the multi-track window. We can copy and paste windows, so we can clip duplicate twice. So now we've got, he says, now we've got 3 copies of that clip, and we can actually, by right-clicking on it and left-clicking and moving on it, we can actually layer it on the track below. He says, if you can anchor it there. We're now running through time. As you see the cursor move, it's a very long file. If we zoom in slightly, he says, like that, we can actually see the playback line moving. And by pressing space, we can start and stop playback, and we can actually start and stop playback from any point, he says. Stop messing around. There we go. Right, there we are. So we can start and stop playback from that point onwards. This mouse actually doesn't click particularly well, which is one of the reasons we're having problems. Okay, so the reason for using this, if you play that back now, we've got 2 lots of the same audio playing in time. So we've got this track playing and this track playing at the same time. If we move that slightly, let's move it here, we can then actually play it out of time. So now we've got the same track playing at 2 different times, which is completely unusable to us, but if we were making a soundscape or something like that, we could have, say, tweeting birds on this line and a little bit of background wind and maybe a combine harvester in the distance or something. We can start to build up a soundscape using that. Each one's got an envelope, so you've got a volume envelope which can be edited at any point, so you can make ramps in the volume and cuts and things like that in the volume. And then it's also got a pan, so pan there is center, and then we can pan it whichever we would like, left or right, to actually pan the sound to the left and right speakers. So we can actually do that live in this window as well, and those will be executed as we play back. So the main thing we want to be doing today really is actually not using the multi-track. This is for layering up sounds and making soundscapes or making final mixdowns. Again, if these were two copies of the same track, if you can imagine that for a show recording, quite a lot of the time we'll take a recording of the room as a stereo recording off the camera, and then we'll quite often take a band mix maybe and a vocal mix, or a band mix on this channel, a stereo band mix and a stereo vocal mix, and we can then actually vary the amount of bands, the amount of vocals versus the amount of ambient sound in the room. All those things would be in time, and then we can actually use the volume envelopes to make the whole thing, make a soundscape out those 3 elements to create the soundscape we want and create the final product we want.